the resurrection of Jesus Christ stands as the bedrock of Christian faith. It is the cornerstone that supports the entire structure of Christian belief and practice. Without this pivotal event, the essence of Christianity would be fundamentally altered. It is the miraculous event upon which the entire religion hinges. The resurrection is not merely a story of a man coming back to life. It is a profound declaration of victory over death and sin. Without the resurrection, Christianity loses its central figure of salvation and its promise of eternal life. The hope of resurrection is what gives Christians the assurance of life beyond death, a core tenet that shapes their worldview and daily living. The story, as traditionally understood, claims that Jesus, after being crucified by the Romans, rose from the dead on the third day. This event is celebrated annually by Christians around the world during Easter, a time of great joy and reflection. This event, witnessed by his followers, serves as proof of his divinity and paves the way for the Christian concept of salvation and the afterlife. The accounts of these witnesses have been passed down through generations, forming the basis of the New Testament writings. The resurrection narrative inspired the early Christian communities, giving them the courage to spread the message of Jesus despite persecution. It was this unwavering belief in the resurrection that fueled the rapid growth of Christianity in its formative years. The resurrection narrative, therefore, is not just a historical claim, it's the foundation upon which the entire edifice of Christian theology rests. It influences Christian doctrines, liturgy, and the moral teachings that guide the lives of millions of believers worldwide. Understanding this narrative is crucial for comprehending the depth and breadth of Christian faith. Adding to the historical concerns are the inconsistencies within the Gospel accounts themselves. The four Gospels, written decades after the alleged event, offer differing versions of the resurrection story. They disagree on key details such as who went to the tomb, what they saw there, and how many angels appeared. These discrepancies, while perhaps seemingly minor, cast doubt on the reliability of the narratives as a whole. If the Gospel writers couldn't agree on the basic facts of the event, it becomes difficult to accept their accounts as accurate historical records. Several natural explanations have been proposed to account for the belief in Jesus' resurrection. One such explanation is the swoon hypothesis. This theory posits that Jesus did not actually die on the cross, but merely fell unconscious. He was then revived in the cool air of the tomb, giving the appearance of resurrection. While this theory has its own set of challenges, it highlights the possibility of alternative explanations grounded in natural phenomena. The resurrection motif is not unique to Christianity. Many ancient cultures had myths and legends featuring gods or heroes who died and were resurrected. Theologian, for instance, the Egyptian god Osiris and the Greek god Dionysus both figure in resurrection myths. These parallels, while not disproving the Christian resurrection, do raise questions about its originality and whether it might be a product of cultural borrowing rather than a unique historical event. Paul's vision, a hallucination or a divine encounter. Paul, a key figure in early Christianity, claimed to have had a vision of the risen Christ. This experience was pivotal in his conversion from a persecutor of Christians to one of their most ardent advocates. However, some scholars argue that Paul's vision, like other religious visions throughout history, could have been a hallucination. This interpretation, if true, casts doubt on the physical reality of the resurrection and suggests a more subjective, experiential basis for Paul's belief. The power of belief group psychology and the rise of Christianity. The rapid spread of Christianity in the first century can be partly attributed to the psychological power of the resurrection belief.
In the face of persecution and hardship, the hope of resurrection and eternal life offered by the new faith provided solace and motivation. This shared belief, reinforced through rituals and community support, could have created a powerful social reality. Even the resurrection itself was not a historical event.
Alternative explanations. Summarizing the case against the resurrection. Throughout history, the resurrection of Jesus has been a cornerstone of Christian faith. but it has also faced significant scrutiny and skepticism. In conclusion, several alternative explanations for the belief in Jesus' resurrection exist. These include theories that attempt to rationalize the events described in the New Testament. The swoon hypothesis. This theory suggests that Jesus did not actually die on the cross, but rather fell into a deep coma or swoon. Later he revived in the cool environment of the tomb, leading his followers to believe he had risen from the dead. Hallucinations. Another explanation is that the disciples, overwhelmed by grief and trauma, experienced vivid hallucinations of the risen Jesus. These visions were so powerful that they were convinced of his resurrection. Mistaken identity. This theory posits that the disciples may have encountered someone who resembled Jesus, and in their emotional state mistook this person for their resurrected leader. Legend development. Over time, the story of Jesus' resurrection could have evolved through oral traditions, becoming more embellished and mythologized with each retelling. This process of myth-making is common in many historical narratives. Group psychology. The shared belief in the resurrection, regardless of its origins, was likely reinforced through social dynamics and communal reinforcement. Group psychology played a significant role in solidifying this belief among early Christians, creating a powerful collective conviction that has endured through the centuries. Conclusion: a legacy of faith and doubt. This chapter delves into the complex interplay between unwavering faith and persistent doubt that has shaped religious thought for centuries. The question of Jesus' resurrection remains a subject of intense debate. Scholars, theologians, and lay people alike have grappled with this pivotal event, each bringing their own perspectives and interpretations to the table. While it is the cornerstone of Christian faith, historical and logical analysis reveals significant challenges to its veracity. The resurrection is not just a matter of belief, but also a topic of rigorous academic scrutiny. The lack of contemporary evidence, inconsistencies in the gospel accounts, and the availability of more parsimonious explanations cast doubt on the historicity of the event. These inconsistencies have led many to question the reliability of the sources and the narratives they present. Scholars have pointed out that the Gospels were written decades after the events they describe, which raises questions about their accuracy and the potential for embellishment or error. Some argue that the resurrection should be understood metaphorically, as a symbol of hope and renewal, rather than a literal historical event. This interpretation allows for a more flexible understanding of the story's significance. Ultimately, whether one accepts the resurrection as a literal miracle or interprets it as a powerful myth, its impact on Western civilization and its continued hold on the hearts of billions remain undeniable. The story of the resurrection has inspired countless works of art, literature, and music, and continues to be a source of comfort and inspiration for many. In the end, the legacy of faith and doubt surrounding the resurrection is a testament to the enduring power of this ancient story. It challenges us to explore the depths of our beliefs and to seek understanding in the face of uncertainty.